Hello, hello, ladies. How are you all doing? It's been a
Good.
long time. It's been a long time. Let's all go ahead and come on in. We are going to go ahead and get started. You be like, who are all of these people on the screen? My name is Belinda, and I'm one of the members of Women of Grace. And we wanted to come to tell you a little bit more about Women of Grace. Maybe you've come to one of our events, maybe you've seen something on social media, maybe you have just kind of wondered, what is this thing called Women of Grace? What we're going to do this evening is we're going to talk a little bit more about the ministry, talk about our relaunch, what we are doing, where we're headed, and give people the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Women of Grace. So, first, I'm going to kick it off, and I'll have everyone introduce themselves, tell your name, and how long you've been a part of Women of Grace, and then we'll kick it off with the questions. So, I'll start first with Brenda.
Hi, my name is Brenda Phelps, and I actually live in Rural Hall, North Carolina, and I serve as the CEO of Women of Grace and have been with the ministry from its inception. So that's a long time. I know I don't look that old, nor do I feel that old, but it's been almost 40 years. And it's been something that I am quite passionate about.
Thank you for sharing. All right, Tammy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Tammy Dunning, and I live in Macon, Georgia. So I've been a part of Women of Grace since 2008, and I just love the ministry and looking forward to sharing it with all of you ladies.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Carla, can you tell us how long you've been a part of Women of Grace?
Hello, I am Carla Daniel, and I've been part of Women of Grace for 30 something years, I think. Honestly, I don't remember when I started, but I do know that it's been a great ride. So, and I'm
Awesome.
in Sandy Springs, Georgia.
Awesome. All right, Miriam, can you tell us how long you've been a part of the ministry?
Hello, I'm Miriam Reese. I live in Douglasville, Georgia, and I've been a part of the ministry for maybe 12 years.
Awesome. Thank you. And we'll round it out with Lillian. How long have you been a part of Women of Grace?
Hi, I'm Lillian Taylor from Macon, Georgia. Uh, I think about 25, 30 years. I can't pinpoint it.
Gotcha. But you got bit by the grace bug and haven't left since.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's been a ride. I'll
It's
say
been a
that.
ride. Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I'm going to kick off our girl talk with asking Carla and Brenda to tell us what's one word that describes Women of Grace in 2026. And I'll let Carla go first.
Well, to me, transformational comes to mind for the Women of Grace. Do you want me to elaborate
Go ahead.
or just use the one word?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Elaborate.
I couldn't wait. So transformational meaning to cause a change, a significant change. And I know with Women of Grace, that's exactly where we are right now. There has been a change from the beginning to where we are now. And you can see the production and how God is moving us from where things were great and things were good, but He's moved us into a level now and connect with other people, other women and men of different ages, stages, and lifestyles.
Awesome. Thank you. Brenda?
Well said. For me, the one word is evolving. And since I've been here from its inception, I see the changes that are taking place. And I know personally, you can't do 2026 ministry the way you did 40 years ago. And that's why my word is evolving. If anything is to have sustainability, it has to change, it has to evolve and get to the place that it needs to be to meet the needs of the people.
Excellent. Thank you, ladies, for both sharing your words for Women of Grace. Now, a part of Women of Grace, we have three pillars, which we call PFS, and that is prayer, fellowship, and service. So, Tammy, tell us, what does prayer, fellowship, and service look like in today's world?
That's an excellent question. I would say that in currently today, prayer today, it's no longer traditionally confined to a sanctuary in a traditional setting like it used to be. Prayer is taking place in living rooms, Zoom calls, in the middle of the day, at work, and even during morning walks. The look of prayer has changed, and the way we do prayer has changed, because I think that women are learning to take a pause in the middle of a busy schedule and just reconnect with God, just depending on what they may need at that time and place in their life. Um, as far as fellowship, I really think women are looking for authentic fellowship in 2026. I think women are craving real connection. We're so busy on social media, but it's more than just social media interactions. I believe in 2026, you know, fellowship for some women could mean just having safe spaces to
Mhm.
connect with women where they can be honest about their faith, their family, or even their career, or even just their purpose. I think, and it's cross generational. We're looking for fellowship without judgment.
Mhm.
And when I say cross generational relationships, like I said, I've been with Women of Grace since 2008. And I can remember just receiving a hug just from Brenda, or even Evangelist Swain. And it was just something about the mentorship that I received from those women. And I think women really crave that in 2026. And I guess I would say, as far as service, um, in 2026, service, it's just compassion with action.
Mm.
Um, it's meeting tangible needs, whether it's the scholarships that we're awarding, our outreach initiatives. It's just support for women and for families. I think it's equipping women to serve within our own spheres and our own communities. Um, every woman's got a ministry, and whether it's in their home or their church or even in their community. So to me, I think that's what prayer, fellowship, and service looks like in 2026.
Awesome. You summed it up real well.
Mhm.
I
So,
tried. I tried.
so, ladies, if you're looking for any of those, if Women of Grace were able to walk alongside you, maybe you're wanting to develop your prayer life. Maybe you're looking for some sisters that you can serve in the community with, or maybe you need a friend. We can help you with all of that. Um, so, thank you for sharing what PFS looks like in 2026. Now, Carla, you had mentioned that you have been a part of Women of Grace for quite some time. You're like, I don't know when it happened, but I got bit by the Grace bug, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
How has Women of Grace helped strengthen your spiritual journey?
Well, what I can say is that being part of Women of Grace, it has matured me. I know coming in, I was a young 30 something girl, and I had some back drama. I had some healing that I needed. I didn't know how to go to God. I was in a church and I was active in the church, but the church wasn't me. It wasn't in me. And I can say, growing up with Women of Grace, they have mentored me, they have trained me, they've had patience with me, they have loved me, they have blessed me in so many ways, And so it has brought me to a full turn of being a womanhood, a woman of grace. God has truly blessed me in this. Sometimes you feel like I don't need to be around them women, but those women draw you with the love that you need. When you're going through something and you don't know what to say to God, you can call Kathy up, and Kathy
Yeah.
knows how to get a prayer across. Or if you need somebody to talk to, Brenda's very good at being a big sister, and being able to listen to what you're going through. Or we're going out of town and we're doing a caravan and all of us are coming together. We'll get together, have a good time to eat, drink, and just have a great time, a spiritual drink. but we just have a great time with one another. So I can say Women of Grace has matured me to a full woman to the point that now I know how to mentor others and have that patience and love and grace, Women of Grace given me. Now I can share that with others.
Awesome. And if you were trying to go on that trip, you can always count on Lillian because she's looking for a hotel to stay in. She want to go somewhere nice, and she ready
Always.
to go.
That's right.
Right. Go part.
Now,
Yep.
yes. So you got a whole gamut of women who are able to meet you where you are. And if you are wanting to know where you fit in, there's somebody and a match for you. Now, something that's unique for me and Miriam is we kind of grew up with Women of Grace. Our moms were leaders in it, so you didn't have a choice. You had to go to the Women of Grace Fellowship. You had to, they kind of drug us along, but we also got bit by the grace bug. So, Miriam, what made you say yes to being a part of the board for Women of Grace?
Okay, so exactly what you said, starting off with that. I felt honored to be a board member because I felt like it was legacy. Having my mom be a member for over 30 plus years, and then she was also a board member until she transitioned. And so I feel like that was something that we both loved, Women of Grace, something that we look forward to going to every year, look forward to going to meetings, fellowshipping, doing community service together. And so when I was asked to be on the board, it was like, I really didn't have to think about it much because this is an organization that I've been a part of for years, love the women. Um, Always, if it's something that you need, you also have people that really look out for you. And so it
Mhm.
made it a very easy yes for me.
Yes, you're right. And you can find those women. So you need to get a prayer through. When your birthday come around, you can count on Miss Pat to send you your birthday card or you send your shout out. So you can
Yes.
find those who will celebrate you. And then you get the opportunity to pour back into them. Because we were so young, of course, we had to help them do certain tasks, and they remember, hey, can you come help me fix my phone, or can you come help me do whatever? Like you find that whole
Mhm.
gamut to what
Yes.
Tammy was saying of those cross generational. I need you, and they need us as well. So, Brenda, you had mentioned that you have been a part of Women of Grace since the beginning. Now that, and you've been through several different transitions with the ministry, with this current transition that we're in, what can you say has been the hardest part of this transition?
I think the whole process, because when we first started the ministry, there were just small little bullet points that you wanted to get. With this new board here taking over, the detailing that has to be in place, the why we do this, how we do this, all of that, and also just the whole process has been, because you got to review, you pulling up papers from 30, almost 40 years ago. And what we're doing, needing to do today is not what we did 30 years ago. So you got to think about the whole process and how to work it. Because when we started Women of Grace, it was basically for the fellowship of coming together, and that was on a yearly basis for the first seven years, and on the eighth year, which is New Beginnings with Women of Grace, and the number 8 stands for New Beginnings. It was the time when we made a change shift. Then we evolved and we opened up chapters. And so here we are at another transitional place in our time. And so, as much as I would love to hang out for maybe 20, 30 more years, that may not happen. So it's good for me to see the process of passing the torch to younger ones, because sometimes that doesn't happen in ministries. Ministries tend to fall apart sometimes because a leader has not prepared the next generation for it. And I appreciate the young ones coming alongside us and being willing to listen to our stories. catch that bug, should we say, be bit by that bug, because I think that was Sister West. She lived in Carrollton, Georgia, that came up with that saying, but have taken on this test. So the whole process, because you can't look at what you did 20 years ago and still try to do it today. Things have changed. People have changed the way they do ministry. Years ago, we used to have church on Sunday, almost every day of the week, sometimes at least 3 times out of the week. And then you have uh, what was it, choir rehearsal, usher board meeting. So you were always busy with now, and then you have revival, or you have used to have evening services. Remember on
Mhm.
Sundays we had evening. Nobody does evening services now. Times have changed, so you got to evolve and change with it. So the hardest part is the process of reviewing the old. What do we keep, what do we let go, what can we do new? And that's the reason for all these young folks here on the line.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing. Now, I will say that a lot of the changes that are taking place is because, of course, Jesus gives us direction. But it's me and Tammy kind of like, what we're going to do and how we're going to spruce it up a little bit, and bring it into this new age. So, Tammy, what's one thing that we're planning to do different this year within the ministry?
Gosh, got so many new things in store for our members and for those who just want to be a part and want to engage with us this year. One thing that we're doing differently this year, and I'm really excited about, is this summer we're gonna be doing a prayer summit, and I'm looking forward to us doing this because, as I said earlier, we're busier than ever and we're carrying, we women are. And I think that we are longing and wanting a deeper prayer life. I believe that's beyond just surface level devotion that we get on a weekly basis. And I'm hoping, and it's my prayer, that this summit will equip women with practical prayer tools that we need just for life, and that it will ignite about purpose. And I think it was Miriam who made the suggestion about the prayer summit. And I called her and was like, we've been discussing this. Give us some more detail. Tell me what your thoughts were. And when she told me, I was like, yeah, I really feel like this is something that God really, really wants us women to do. And it's our prayer that this prayer summit will leave women, I mean, not just inspired, of also aligned and strengthened with whatever us to do, and that they'll be spiritually empowered by it. So that's
Awesome.
one thing. There's so many, but that's just one. You asked me for one, so I'm giving you one.
Yes. So you need to join the team so you can learn more about that information. And on the screen, there's a QR code where you can connect with us. So if we don't have your email address and your phone number, you can just scan the QR code and send your information so that you can be first to know when these events are going to take place. I will say that one of the things that we're doing different, similar to what Brenda mentioned, and I will say it is weird saying Brenda because Brenda is my mama, but Women of Grace has made such a positive impact in so many women's lives, and we can see it through the testimonies and the people who have been repeat visitors. But we are needing to standardize some things and put some processes in place, because we know God likes things decent and in order. And in
Amen.
order for us to take it to the next level, in order for us to get the funding that we desire, in order for us to get that grace house that my mom has always wanted for the ministry, in order for us to have the event, we have to have the proper documentation in order. And if you're like me, where you want to know what's going on and what's the plan, you got to have some background information for those people who are interested. So trying to tell the why, but then also helping to document those processes is one of the things that we're doing different. If you're someone who's strong in admin skills, if you're someone who's great with marketing and you can help put us on the map with social media and all, please come help us. I need you. The ministry needs you. But those are some of the things that we're doing. As Tammy mentioned, we do have the prayer summit. Women and women of grace, they can pray you from here to heaven, and God will definitely hear your prayers all times of the night. They talked about Kathy. Kathy gonna wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she gonna call the prayer hounds. You got those who are up late in the midnight hour and in between that can uh, pray. But one of the things that I always struggle with was like, I don't think I have the language. And of course, I should compare myself to other people. But like, how do I know that God is listening to me? So I think this summit will be impactful, not just for those who attend, but for myself. I'm hoping to learn some more and continue to strengthen my prayer life. So if you haven't already, go ahead and scan the QR code or go to our website, wograce.com, and give us your information so that we can make sure that you learn more about what we have going on. So, Lillian, why do you stay committed to this ministry? Why are you still here?
Good question. I'm still here. Number one is because God placed me here years ago, and He keeps me here. But I see God in the ministry. In what we do, I see women who are putting what God wants first. And that's the most important thing, because we can't remain stagnant. And I like how Brenda was talking about the changes that she has experienced through the Women of Grace. And I stay committed because our leaders can hear God and we can move forward. Uh, as Brenda says, we can't do 1987 ministry in 2026. So I remain committed
Mhm.
because I love what we do. I love the fellowship. You asked us recently to give one word that describes Women of Grace for you, and I said laughter. And I know that may seem strange to some, but what Women of Grace has given me, um, friends or women who laugh. You know, we may be getting ready for a service. We may be just on the phone. We may be out to eat, whatever. We have good times. We laugh. And that has inspired me so much because I have people that I can laugh with, I can joke with, and we have a good time doing what we can or what we do in prayer fellowship and service. So it's not a boring thing. It's a great thing because we are a sisterhood, and that commitment comes out to that sisterhood. And I want to say this about the praying part, praying women. I remember one time years ago, I was sick, and I remember laying on my sofa sick, and I had told the women of grace, put in a prayer request, and I believe I literally felt the power of those prayers as I lay on that sofa, and God's healing taking place. And I remember thinking, oh God, I feel the power of those prayers. So the women of grace stay connected. That keeps me committed, with God first, and bringing things into this 2026 year, this 21st century, that makes us viable, makes us useful in this day and time.
Yes. And I appreciate you, Lydia, because even if me and you text and you asking questions, I'm laughing at something you said, and I'm sure you're like, Linda, you're doing something silly. So having that camaraderie comes
Yeah,
through building relationships. But sometimes you have to push past yourself and go outside of
yeah,
your comfort zone to build that relationship with other people.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes you have to do a FaceTime call to people to help them laugh.
That's another thing. We have
Right.
our CEO loves to FaceTime you any time of day. When I'm
Yes,
just getting out of bed, no makeup,
yes,
no wig, no
anytime.
nothing. And
No,
there's Brenda,
Right.
FaceTime. She loves
Yep, yep.
that.
Yes,
And it
yes.
keeps
I
us
just want to
keep
see
thinking.
you. I need to put my eyes on you.
That's what she
That's right.
said. I just want to see you.
Mhm,
Not like this, you
exactly.
don't.
That was one of her things
Right, not
when
like
we went to
this.
virtual. When we went to virtual meetings, she would be like, "I don't. Your cameras aren't on," and people would be like, "But we're not presentable." I don't care. I need to see your face. I need to see your
Yes,
face.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
the love in the Women of Grace is real. And we love doing
Yeah.
service. We love fellowship. We love prayer. That keeps me committed. It's a part of my life that's necessary for me. And if I can respond to others within the group in the same manner, then we all benefit.
and I think one other piece that we're trying to do and working to do differently is many of the women in the ministry live in the middle Georgia area and some are in the Atlanta area. I myself, I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and my mom lives in North Carolina. We know that women of grace can have an impact in other areas, so we want to figure out and determine ways that we can bridge the gap for those who live in other locations, so that you feel connected. So when they FaceTime you, you answer, of course,
Mhm.
but trying to be more intentional with those who live outside of the Middle Georgia area, that you do have a sister that you can call on who's in Idaho or whatever, um,
Yes.
get a prayer through, or that can
Mhm.
send you, make you laugh, or send you that joke or that encouraging word that helps you to continue on in your journey. Uh, Miriam, like I said, for you and I, we both have grown up in the ministry, and you said that your yes was easy when it came to being on the board. What keeps you committed to the ministry, even outside of just of being a board member, but just being a member of Women of Grace?
Um, I would say the PFS, the prayer. You've all already discussed about how much we have prayer warriors. I mean, you can have a prayer request in the middle of the night and you can drop it in and somebody gonna start praying for you. So just to have that,
Mhm.
I've gone through things in my life, transitions in my life, illnesses in my life where I felt the prayers and I was so happy to have people to check in with me. That just made it made it easier because sometimes we may not have a huge circle, but then when we think about our sisters in Christ, that's something big for me. Fellowship, and we always have opportunities to do something, and it was easier when I lived in Macon. But
Yes.
I sacrifice, the time to because I still want to be involved. I don't want to just be a member and not
Mhm.
be there and be able to be counted on. Um, and service, just always just having that community service opportunities. Me and Carla was able to do community service in the Atlanta area recently, so we really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Um, just a combination of the things. It's just having the women there, and then Sister Brenda, of course, she don't hear from me in a while. I can count on her to call and check in and see what's going on with me, because I feel like I'm kind of a quiet person once but I can get step outside of my comfort zone. But overall, my person is reserved, my personality. But I'm a behind the scenes type person. I can do the behind the scenes very well. But this ministry, it it puts you in a place where you're able to tap into those other skills and gifts that God had given me as well.
Mhm. Amen.
You bring up a good point that I was mentioning before about pushing you outside of your comfort zone. So it
Mhm.
could be that God is calling you to say a prayer in front of a group of people. Like my preference to Miriam is to be behind the scenes. You ain't got to know I'm there. I just want to make sure it look good and it's done well. My name ain't got to be on the program or any of that. But you might get a call from Brenda saying, I think I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Do you think you can do whatever? And you ask Jesus, and He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you the tools and the resources, and
Yeah.
you go with the knots in your stomach, but you go ahead and do it." So
And you do a great job. Y'all do a great job.
They
Yay!
do. They
Yes.
really do.
they celebrate. You feel celebrated. So Brenda, as you mentioned, you've been around since the beginning. and you see the transitioning, where do you see the ministry, or pray that the ministry is within the next 2 to 3 years?
I see us continuing to grow and continuing to change. One of the like when I use the word evolving, when you think about it, we really got into when God gave me the PFS, God, over 20 some odd years ago. We didn't really land it or solidify it, into its fullness. It's still evolving. And when COVID hit, and we couldn't have fellowships, reach out and be in the presence of one another. We worked that P, and that has taken us to, I mean, we got deeper into that than we ever had before. There's some things that even when difficulties times comes, there's something good to come out of a difficult or a trying season. And that has definitely been one of those times, when we did the virtual, started in the virtual services, which we had never embarked on before. So we were able to pivot when some ministries weren't. God just gave us that grace to be able to do that. Uh, Even wound up with a couple of new members on a virtual platform. So that's nothing but God. And then
Mhm.
also, too, in the next 2 or 3 years, I see us finding even deeper niches. We have the PFS, and we're really determined because of the prayer fellowship and service that came over 20 some odd years ago. We really started working the fellowships, and also to especially the community service. We gave out scholarships when we didn't even have a banquet or an award ceremony. We pivoted in such a way that came up with an idea. Oh, we can send them the check and send them a yard sign, and they take a picture in front of it, showing that. So there's always ways, even in difficult places. But in the next 2 or 3 years, I see us finding our niches, the places that we are intentional about serving in, intentional about making it a fellowship, intentional about continuing in our intentionality about our prayer lives as well.
Awesome. Now I'm about to put you on a spot, Lillian. You're gonna put your prophetic hat on. Where do you see us in the next 2 to 3 years? What is the Lord telling you?
Uh, I see national, international goals. I see us expanding to such an extent to where women are going to, let's say, clamor to be a part of this organization, not because of us, but because of what God is pouring through this ministry. And I even see a place. I know we haven't done the conferences, when we're not right now, but I see even that coming back within the next 2 or 3 years, maybe in a simpler fashion on a national level, and I see us pulling on God. Okay, God, you're saying this. I see us even going more into our prayer rooms and
Mm,
and pulling that thing, because God did some great things when we read the Word of God, and He's still doing great things, and we can expect Him to do great things. So I see that national and international setting stirring. I don't know whether how full it would be in 2 or 3 years, but that's where we're going,
mm,
and look where God has brought us from 1987, women meeting in a hotel room to
mm,
where we are now. And
mm,
so and so I see women from everywhere becoming a part of this and wanting to be a part of it. Who is this Women of Grace? What now? Oh, yes. And us getting national coverage and international coverage.
Gotcha. So if there's a woman out there who's interested, there's a QR code on the screen, or you can, our membership application or membership interest form is on our website. And someone from the membership committee will kind of walk you through next steps when it comes to the ministry. We desire to have women who want to serve and feel led to serve. Like you said, you may have to push past your comfort zone. So maybe are one that is more introspective. Um, just make the first push and just reach out to us. I promise you that God will meet you every step of the way, and that there's something for you. What you got for us,
I want
Lillian?
to say one more thing
Go
is
for it.
that wonderful. And not only do we need members, but we need donors. And I see God expanding us to a point to where people will want to give into this ministry because it's about God. It's about doing. And like you said, the accountability through our record taking, our order that He's using you all, you young people, to establish. And I'm about like Brenda. I may not be around 20 to 30 years ago, for now, but I believe that donors and that we'll have what we need financially to do those things on a national and international level.
Yes. I got a QR code for that too. So if you are interested in donating,
Yes,
the QR code for
yes,
your 501c3 so you can get credit for that on your taxes. So we welcome
yes, right.
all of it,
Yeah.
okay? We'll pray over it and speak the blessings of the Lord on your life.
Yes,
Start the
Yeah.
babies that are coming in. Help us
Right.
continue the great work of
yes,
Jesus. Come on,
All
give us.
right, Belinda.
right. We are
You
living in a
have
world,
not because you asked not. What else you got
and
for us,
and I
Lily? What else?
and
I might
I'm
got a
gonna
QR
hush
code
after
for that
this,
too.
but we are living in a world now to where people, women need us, women with families. You see so many domestic violence uh uh cases rising up now. It's just, I mean, I was saying, God, what's happening? So we are needed in this time, day and time, to make a difference.
Yes. So help push us forward so that we not ourselves, but push the ministry forward so that we can continue making a positive impact, not only in the Middle Georgia and Atlanta area, but as Lillian said, on a national and international level. So, Tammy, as we talk about donors and those who are interested in ministry, what kind of woman or women
Mhm.
are we hoping to attract? And also, what type of women are we wanting to serve?
Ooh, okay. So I would have to say that, of course, at our heart and our core, we're multi generational.
Mhm.
Um, but I believe we want seasoned women as well as emerging women sitting at the table at the same time. Because I can remember in my 20s, 30s, well, my 30s and 40s, I I was in a season of reinvention and maybe reflection. And like Lillian said, people are navigating life transitions, whether it's career, empty nesting, or health challenges, domestic challenges. We want to reach those women. We want to serve those women. We want women who, maybe they're spiritually hungry, but they may feel disconnected because we
Mhm.
one of our pillars is sisterhood. So we want to attract those types and serve those types of women. Women who again desire authentic sisterhood, because that's one thing I can say about the women of grace. We are definitely authentic. And I believe that women of grace exist, for women who know that there's more at my heart. And I remember again, Brenda was pushing and telling me there's more. God has more for you, more purpose. And we want to seek and serve those women who are ready to pursue purpose intentionally, pursue God intentionally. I think in 2026 a lot of women are accomplished outward, but they're seeking deeper fulfillment. And we want to meet those women. And we want to serve those women. So if you find yourself in any of those categories that I just named, you're the woman that we want. We want to serve you, and we want to be able to help you navigate through those transitions, because I believe that God has directed you to our ministry for a specific purpose.
I agree with you. So if you're feeling that push, that tug, I feel like I'm an infomercial, but I promise.
Like that too. And I'm really not trying to be. I'm really not trying to be. But I just really feel like at our core, the that's who, God has called us to serve.
Mhm.
So I'm not trying to sound like an infomercial either, but I just really feel like that's who God has called us to serve in this time and during this period.
Yep. And we have at my church when they do like the welcome and they talk about guests. And my one of the people will say, if you're, we have some people who've been seriously dating us. As the old people say, they've been courting, and you've known us since 1987, and you know Jesus been telling you to join Women of Grace, but you like, no. If they ask me to volunteer, I don't mind doing that. Or if they send an email and they need a donation for the scholarship fund, I'll do that. You can do all of that and be a member and get access to these prayer warriors. As we talk about the different events that we're doing, one of the things that we are working towards is for those who are members, we want to have a members retreat. So to get the chance to get away from the responsibilities that you may have at home, at work, wherever, and go away with your girlfriend and just be able to woosah with that prayer summit um, coming and building your relationship with Jesus and strengthening that. We're going to have an open house in March, on March the 14th, where you can learn a little bit more about Women of Grace and how we have uh, our three pillars of the prayer, fellowship, and service. We have lots of opportunities, and we know you may have those great ideas, and you can come alongside and work with us to continue to push the ministry forward.
Can I share something?
Go
I
ahead.
I remember years ago, and I wasn't president or CEO, none of that kind of stuff. And I was riding to a fellowship with Mother Rebecca James. She invited the Women of Grace, is our regular monthly meetings that we had, to her house, and she loved to cook. And I think it was in December. I mean, she had the table spread. It was fabulous. It was good eating, good fellowship. And I'm riding down the road, and the Lord reveals to me, because I had my oldest daughter when I was in my teens, that I didn't have, like young girls now have their BFS and they're spending time and they're giggling and all that. I didn't have that kind of time because, I had my oldest child at a young age. And I thought about it. God will give us the things that we missed out on.
Yeah.
And I thought about the good time I had. It was like, I know at least four of us in the car together, and just the laughter, the fellowship, the camaraderie. We intend to continue to make those kind of moments because we need that, whether we acknowledge it or not. I'd never thought about it, but the Lord kind of brought that to my attention, that I give you the things that you missed out on if you just stay with me.
Mhm.
And He's faithful to that.
That's true.
Yes.
True.
And one of the Women of Grace members, Rosalind, she'll say, I remember that time. I don't know if it was when her husband passed away. Anytime she wanted to tell the story about how you came in and cleaned her oven. So sometimes somebody come and clean your oven. I'm not gonna say all of them, okay? But you have people that can meet you where you are, and if you have a need, we've had people who've been sick, who needed um, medical care,
Mhm.
and we've been able to help navigate that with them, or maybe they were in the hospital or needing assistance with whatever. You have your sisters who have some connects that can um, walk with you in this journey called life. All right, we are nearing the end of our girl talk, and I want to ask, I'm actually going to put everybody on the spot and ask you to answer this. Women of Grace is becoming a place where, and you can fill it in with whatever. I'll start with Lillian. So, Women of Grace is becoming a place where what?
Women can be in a comfortable environment and not feel threatened and not feel they're being hit over the head with religion,
Mhm.
but they will feel comfort. They will feel the love of God, and this is where the Women of Grace is evolving to, as Tammy said, to serving all kinds of women, And we used to have a saying about, at one time we used to say, we help hurting women, but we help we serve all kinds of women. You may not be hurting at this time, or you may, but Women of Grace is evolving, is continuing to evolve to where women of all statuses and different points in life will be comfortable to come and be ministered to by God.
Amen.
Yes. Brenda, Women of Grace is becoming a place where what?
I think Women of Grace is becoming a place, a soft place to land.
Mhm.
Everybody in their life need a soft place to land. And what I mean by that, you need a place where, like Lillian was saying, that won't judge you. In other words, I can just be myself right here. I didn't say that every woman that's within Women of Grace will be that for you, but I promise you there will be somebody that you can connect to that will be that soft place for you, that will be that listening ear, that will be that connection that you needed. And I always tell people, that they need to meet me.
Mhm.
Your life is better
Uh,
when you know Brenda. Because I think, our pastor here in at St. Peter's, he says, I'm a miracle sign and a wonder.
oh, I like
That's
it.
right. He can do all of those things, but we are in people's lives to be that miracle, that
Mhm.
sign that God is still gracious, that wonder that God, you knew all about, you knew what I needed. So I believe
Yeah.
I'm a connection for somebody. I don't
Yeah.
know about the rest of y'all, but I believe that.
Amen.
Thank
I would agree. You are someone everyone needs to know.
Yes,
Everyone needs to
absolutely.
know.
So, Carla, Women of Grace is becoming a place where what?
Where if you are that one that just don't know what you was put on this earth to do, Women
Mhm.
of Grace is that place. We can help you and pray you through to where you will be able to hear God, to know what your purpose is, what your calling is. And it's not like we're going to tell you, but I think with the services that we have, the commitments that we have with one another, the relationships that we have, then you'll know it. Sometimes you pray for things and then God blesses you and you don't know that he blessed you until it's like, wait a minute, know,
you.
he blessed me in that. I don't feel that way anymore. So
Yeah.
Women of Grace will help you to pull out that you who God has called you to be.
Awesome. I like that one. Miriam,
Yeah.
Women of Grace. Oh, was somebody about to say something? Women of Grace is becoming a place where what?
Women of Grace is becoming a place where wellness, wholeness is a priority. And in different areas of your life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and any other place where there's a need.
Awesome. I love that. Yes. Tammy, Women of Grace is becoming a place where what?
Okay, so I'm not trying to sound like an infomercial again, but I just feel that Women of Grace is becoming a place where women are equipped to serve and make an impact wherever they are, whether it's at work, at home, at church, in their community. This ministry right here is going to prepare you and equip you to do all those things. I just did I sound like an infomercial then again
Nope.
too?
Sounds
Okay,
good.
okay, okay. Because I really don't want to, because at my heart and at the core, I truly believe that this ministry is that place where, like Brenda said, that soft place where you can come and we're gonna help you um, and equip you to navigate wherever it is that God has called you to be.
Awesome. I will say that Women of Grace is becoming a place where you all have said great things, and I will agree with all of those. But Women of Grace is a place where God still remains.
Mhm.
He's been with us since 1987. He's been carrying us through different transitions.
Mhm.
He has taken us where we've gone through our own individual struggles, where we've struggled as a ministry, where we've had to lean on our faith, had to lean on our sister. and He's kept us. He sustained us through it all. I'm not sure if you know of any ministries outside of your church's women's ministry that can say that they are still here almost 40 years later. I'm
It's
not
true.
sure if you could name one where they've had a presence in hundreds of women's lives. And if they are still here, 9 times out of 10, they'll say something positive about that ministry.
Mm.
Whether they still interact and engage with us, um, I'm sure they can say, God met me where I went to the Women of Grace retreat, or I went to a fellowship, or I met them at the Cracker Barrel, or wherever, or they prayed with me in the hospital. Um, and we are going to continue to be a ministry where we've talked about some of the changes we've made, or that we're making, and the events and the shifts that are currently in place. God is still here, and He is going to continue to be here and continue to keep us. We are just praying and asking to bring along other women to help join the brigade, to help us continue this fight of letting women know that there are other women praying for you. There are other women who want to make a difference in the community, and there are other women who want that fellowship and that sisterhood. And if those any of those pieces or parts are something that are of interest to you, I recommend that you come and check us out. You can always visit our website. Tammy, I'm about to sound like an infomercial, but we've been working on what our elevator pitch is, because for years it's been helping hurting women. As Lillian mentioned, everybody ain't hurt, and you could be hurt for a little while. Like, you could hurt my feelings for a little while, but my mama taught me how to dust myself off and figure out how we gonna continue on living life. So we want to help you through that whole journey, not just when you hurt, but let me help you when things are going well and you got that, money's in the bank, husband doing good, kids. So, all of the things. Women of Grace is there through that whole gamut. And we just wanted to take this time to let you all know that Women of Grace is back, um, that we have been praying for you, that we want you to be a part of the ministry, that we welcome your donations and your solicitations, that we are still here. So if you haven't already, check out our website, wograce.com, to learn more. You can join our email list so you can find out what we're doing. Our next event is going to be our open house in March, on March the 14th, in Macon, where we will give you the opportunity to meet more of the members and learn more about our prayer fellowship and service. As Tammy mentioned, we'll have a prayer summit that's coming up in June. We have a list of other events that we have. If you're one who likes to serve, we're working on doing our day of service in April, where we find an organization in different locations and we go out and serve. We are doing impromptu fellowships, so for our members to get a chance to kick back and lay your hair aside, and if you want to take your wig off or however. But we have a list of different events, but we want you to be a part. So pray about it. But 9 times out of 10, God already told you. You just didn't want to do what He said. So visit wograce.com to learn more. We hope you have enjoyed learning more about our ministry. And for those who are tuning in, put your information in the chat. I've been seeing some of those messages, and we thank you for being a part. Continue to pray for us, and we will continue to pray for you. As we mentioned, we have women who praying around the clock. So if you have those prayer requests, you can email them to us at info@wograce.com. But we thank you for tuning in, and we hope you all have a great rest of your night. So, any final words you all want to leave us with, ladies?
I'd like to personally thank each and every one of those that are on tonight. This is our new board, a Women of Grace board, and I appreciate all of you that are on. I appreciate the ones that have stepped off of the board, have retired, that have given also of their time and service. That's Catherine Evans, Betty Preston, as well as Linda Stephen Irwin. And thank all of you all for your service and your time. And I'm telling you, you've got to meet these ladies. Come on and join. It's time for us to get moving. I promise you won't regret it. Love you.
Thank you all. You all have a great night.